Yo, what's going on, everybody? My name is Tyler, aka Modern Nerd. Welcome back to the official Nerd Talk channel. I'm here with my co-host AJ Reacts 2. We are on episode 102,
102.
and we are here today talking
Oh,
about the recent movie trailers, a lot of movie trailers, some major casting news, and of course, the main topic is our spoiler talk on Madame Web. Um, so feel free to join us down below and talk to us about all these comments. Please leave a like on this stream if you have not already. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell for all notifications for future Nerd Talk streams. Also follow our Instagram. Link is down below. AJ, what's going on, brother?
what's up, man? Work today. I planned on doing a Blu-ray hunt, but I didn't get around to it. So, just kind of chilled until
Yeah,
our stream.
yeah. But I unexpectedly went to Best Buy because I had to get clothes and
At Best Buy?
uh, at and it was right there. I was like, I actually went in there for a video game, but the line was so long, I didn't end up getting it. But I
Mhm.
actually got a couple things in there that were on clearance that I didn't think I was gonna end up getting. I was like, oh wow. So okay, but yeah,
Nice,
the
nice.
rest of the day was just fine. But without further ado, let's get into our show tonight, starting with the first topic of the night. That is that the Fantastic Four has officially been announced for their casting. Although we've known what the cast was for like 2 months already, but um, so
Official.
yeah, the official cast. So it was reported last week that the cast for the Fantastic Four is announced. I'm gonna see if I can pull up the little poster that they put out, if I can find it. There it is. Um, and they revealed that it's called the Fantastic Four now. Yeah, let me see if this one's brighter. Okay, that one's a little better. It's called The Fantastic Four. They confirmed that it's taking place in the 60s. And we got our casting. So Pedro Pascal, we already knew was Reed Richards, so that wasn't a surprise. Vanessa Kirby will be Invisible Woman. I'm very happy about that. I think she has the charisma for that.
Yeah, a lot of
She's
people were happy about that news.
she is very good in the Mission Impossible movies, and I think a role that makes more like supports this casting more is Hobbs and Shaw, right? Because I
Yeah,
think she's
for sure.
very fun in that movie as Shaw's sister. So
Yeah,
I'm
you can
very.
see her charisma in that one.
And then we have Joseph Quinn. Joseph Quinn, Eddie Munson
This
himself
man, this man,
is the
he
human torch.
uh showing up
Uh,
in Stranger Things, and now look at him.
he's in Game of
Look at him.
Thrones.
Yep, A
Um,
Quiet Place.
and yeah, A Quiet Place Day One. People
Mhm.
are upset about this casting for some reason. I don't understand why. I actually love that casting. I think that's a great casting. I saw people were like, "Oh my god, he's Human Torch." I was like,
Hmm.
"Listen, I understand it's not Zach Efron, but he's a great actor. I think he's gonna do a great job."
People
And
will always complain about anything.
yes, they will.
I just put that
And
out there.
the thing will be played by Iban Mas Bakrak. I probably said
Baccarat.
that wrong.
hmm Ibn
Um,
Mas
this
Baccarat.
is the actor I don't know. I know he was in The Punisher.
He is a main character in The Bear.
Yeah,
And he is fantastic in that show, and
he's an
that's
Andor too.
he is in Andor. He's had little roles here and there. He was in that Jennifer Lawrence
No
comedy
hard feelings.
No
Yeah,
Hard Feelings. Yeah, he was the the tow truck guy.
yeah,
But yeah, he's had little roles here and there. But to see him in this role as the thing, I am very excited to see that. Very excited.
yeah. We have our Fantastic Forecast. I don't really have thoughts on this casting because again, we knew that this was the cast for like a month and a half already. Maybe even more than that. This was the rumored cast.
Mhm.
So when people were like, "Oh my god, the cast is finally here," I'm like, I mean, I
I
guess it's
I didn't
cool that
hear Iban though. I didn't hear about Iban. Like
no,
everybody else, I heard.
he was the other one that people wanted. But I was like, I mean, it's cool that it's confirmed, but
Yeah,
I'm not gonna sit here and throw a parade because they confirmed the cast. It's like, okay, all right, it's finalized now. Let's get to work, you know.
yeah,
And the other casting news, well, the other casting rumors is that Javier Bardem will be playing Galactus, and
Galactus. Yeah.
Galactus will be the villain of this movie. I hate that decision. Not Javier
Mhm.
Bardem. Javier Bardem is a class act. He's amazing. I don't like Galactus being the villain of this movie. I don't. You can throw in all the excuses. Oh, they're gonna fight him, but he's gonna run away at the end. No, no, I don't want it. You gave us this with Quantum Mania, and now you're doing this again. No, Galactus is supposed to be the end game for this universe. No pun intended. Literally, he is the next biggest final boss after Thanos, and I don't want to
Well,
see
and Kang.
him. I please. Um, I don't want to see him, in I don't want to say a nothing movie, but when you look at this movie compared to the Avengers movie that Galactus is inevitably going to show up in, this is a nothing movie. You know, why? I understand they don't want to do Doctor Doom. I don't want them to do Doctor Doom. That's stupid. You're going to tell me there's no other Fantastic Four villains that are not Doctor Doom or Galactus?
I heard Doctor Doom was gonna feature in this movie though.
Probably going to be a post credit scene or a
I
cameo.
would I listen with Galactus. I understand your frustration, but I wouldn't mind seeing him in this first movie, as a like a background, like they did with Thanos, kind of like a post credit thing. But as far as making him the
Yeah,
main villain of the movie, it's really gonna have to make sense. And like I, if he is the main villain, we know he's not gonna get defeated. So
exactly.
it's like, how can you write that to make
What
it
they
interesting?
what they should do is do what Rise of the Beast did. Have like Rise of the Beast, uh, what Unicron. Jesus Christ,
Unicorn.
Unicron was off in the back, and Scourge was sent to do the bidding.
Yeah,
Do that with
he
this
was a
movie.
looming presence.
I want to see. I actually I was excited for this movie because I was curious to see what new Fantastic Four villain we would get
Hmm.
because they're one of the most popular groups in Marvel for a reason. It can't be.
Right,
Did they just fight Doctor Doom in every comic?
right.
Did
No,
they fight
they got a
Galactus all the
rogues
time?
gallery.
They have to have one. Like I want to see that rogues gallery.
Hmm.
Build them up.
Yeah.
Don't just throw them to the wolves right off the bat. And the other thing also, people said they want them to have these as the costumes. No, don't do that. I don't want that at all.
What's your issue with that?
It They look tacky and goofy. I don't
I
like that.
mean, it is '60s,
I
so
don't care if it's the 30s. Captain America was in World War II with a damn good suit.
but I
Or
did
World War
tease
One,
that
World War II.
when they was doing that montage. They did tease
Yeah,
that
I'm
old
fine
suit.
with them showing up once, but
Yeah,
the final suits?
yeah.
No.
I don't feel like they would be in those for the final suits, but you know, I don't
I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna get the origin story. I doubt it. You know, I mean maybe because we see a picture of Ben over here. He's in a spacesuit,
know.
which
We
I
might,
do like that they have the picture above his head to show
yeah.
that that's who it is. And also Herbie, we got confirmation Herbie's gonna be in there, which is great. Um, but I don't know, man. I'm not as excited for this as I once was because they just keep delaying it and they're rewriting it, and you know
Mhm,
I'm excited because of the cast. It's gonna take place in the '60s, which is new-ish.
mhm.
You know, oh man, why am I forgetting his name? The one who did WandaVision. He's directing this movie like that. That's you know amazing to me. So, but I'm not really ecstatic about anything with the MCU other than one thing that we're going to talk about later. And even that I'm not that ecstatic for. But
I get that. I'm kind of like in the middle. Like partially excited. I still have some of the concerns that you do, but I am more optimistic with it. With the MCU lately, we've been on like this really mixed train with good stuff and stuff that's just not great. So I don't know. Like I want to see a trailer. Once we see a trailer, maybe I'll have a little bit more solidified thoughts. But as far as bringing those suits into live action, I don't know. Like it could look silly. It just depends. It depends on how they work it.
all right. Well, let us know down below, guys. What are your thoughts on the Fantastic Four cast? Are you happy that they went with this cast? Did you want to see Zac Efron really bad as Human Torch? I know I did too. Um, let us know. Moving on to the Super Bowl trailer reviews. So we did not do Nerd Talk last week because it was Valentine's Day, and obviously the Super Bowl happened. We got some banger Super Bowl trailers this year. Last year was kind of whack.
True.
So I wanted to talk about some of them. I guess I'm gonna start with the ones that were kind of that was cool. To okay, give me this now. So I guess we'll start with my least favorite one. At least it was for Twisters. I
Mhm,
think this movie looks atrocious. I'm gonna be honest. Now, visually, direction wise, cinematography wise, CGI wise, it looks fantastic. I saw the trailer in IMAX when I saw Madam Web. It was a great IMAX trailer. But beyond that, I think this just looks like a waste. It looks like a waste of everything. It looks like a waste of an amazing cast. You have Glenn Powell, Daisy Edgar Jones, Anthony Ramos is in there. I was like, this looks like such a way. I watched the Super Bowl trailer because I was watching the Super Bowl. I was like, that looks really stupid. And I watched the trailer and I was like, that looks really stupid. And I understand, Twister isn't this amazing movie, but I even heard people telling me it doesn't look like a reboot or anything. It looks like a remake of Twister, but they're calling it a sequel to Twister. So what is it? People were saying like the characters act the same and like some of the events are the exact same.
mhm,
The only part of this movie that excites me is the cast. And I guess the sequences look cool, but
mhm.
how long can people chase tornadoes before it gets boring? Again, I've never seen the first Twister, so I don't know. I want to because I actually found out that Bill Paxton's in that movie, and I want to see that. But what did you think of the Twisters trailer?
Um, when the trailer dropped, I was like, "Yo, they're making a sequel to this movie. It's really happening." And right before this stream, I watched the trailer, and I love the crap out of that trailer, bro. I was like, "Yo, this is gonna be fire." I was like, the sequences with the storm chasing and the corny lines with, uh, "You can't run from fear. You gotta ride it." I was like, "Yes, let's go." I was, I don't know what came over me. I've seen the original, and I don't love it, but it's okay. I feel like, it's like one of those movies you just put on. You're not really paying attention to it much, but you just kind of catch it on TV or whatever like that. But I actually really like this trailer, and Glenn Powell, he stole the show, man. He stole the spotlight on that trailer,
I want
and
to see it because of the cast. The
I
cast is
the
really good.
cast looks good. Daisy Edgar Jones, I think her name
Yeah,
is. Um, Yeah, she was in a movie that I watched a couple years ago, where the Crawdads Sing, and I really liked that. Oh, she was also in Fresh,
Yeah.
and she was good in that as well. So,
Hmm.
I liked that too. So, the cast dope. Anthony Ramos, of course, we love Anthony Ramos around here. So, you know, the cast is great, and the sequences look dope. Like, let's do it. Two tornadoes. It looks like a fun time. It don't look. It looks kind of like a turn your brain off type thing. So,
I was impressed with the CGI and the special effects because I didn't think they would throw this much money into something like this stupid. But I
yeah,
was watching it, I was like, listen, the movie looks really dumb, but at least I can say what they're advertising and what is the main attraction looks good. So
mm,
even if I don't like this movie, I will walk out saying, well, what they were presenting
yeah.
looked good.
I can
And
appreciate some things about it.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
because that's the worst thing. Like when you're watching something like that has special effects, and you're like, "Well, this is stupid," but also the CGI is crap. So it's like, well,
Uh,
what?
Maybe something that we're gonna be talking about later tonight.
So yeah, it's like, well, what can I enjoy here?
Right, exactly.
Sitting on my head. Oh, you're sitting like that. It stinks.
Walk out the theater kicking rocks. Nah, it,
um.
it looks like a fun time though. It looks like a movie you can probably bring your family to and have a good time.
So that was the only one I didn't like. Every other one ranged from like, yeah, that was really good to that was really good. So the
Hmm.
next one is Wicked, directed by John M.
Hmm.
Chu.
True.
His filmography is the weirdest filmography on
It's
the planet.
it's
This man directed Step Up 2,
yes.
Fire, G.I. Joe 2, fire. It's okay. Action is really good. In the Heights, fire. Um, he directed something else.
Did he do a Fast and Furious movie? Oh no, Now You See Me Too.
Now You See Me Too. Like you just look at that, you're like, how is the person that directed In the Heights the person that directed GI Joe 2? Like
Crazy
that,
Rich Asians.
yeah,
Yeah.
Crazy Rich Asians.
The Justin Bieber movie.
Yes, that too. Mhm. Like uh, point is, when I heard he was directing this movie, I was excited. I was like, oh yeah,
Hmm.
okay, because In the Heights is great.
Hmm.
Um, and they have been trying to make a Wicked movie for years. And I was excited when I heard the rumblings, like, oh no, yeah, Wicked is getting a Super Bowl trailer. I was like, oh, okay. We finally get to see what this thing looks like. After seeing it, I was honestly blown away. Legitimately. I watched it live. I'm surprised they showed this whole thing live because it was like a minute long. They showed the whole thing like on TV, which surprised me.
Hmm.
Universal must have paid them a pretty heavy penny for that. Because most Super Bowl trailers are 30 seconds long. Um, I was blown away by this trailer. You see the visuals. People were like, "Oh, it looks like Oz the Great and Powerful." No, no, they put so much money into this movie. I was looking at these visuals. I was like, "Holy shit!" I was like, "It looks like they had people on." Like, I'm sure this is all CGI and blue and green screen. It looks real. Like,
It
it
does.
looks real,
Yeah.
literally real. Like you see the scenes where they're talking to the wizard, you're like, oh my god, like that looks like a theme park attraction or something, in a good
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
I was just like, wow. Yeah, I watched it like at least 3 or 4 times. I was just like, I cannot stop looking at this movie. Like visually, it looks immaculate. The it's hard to range the castings because they all talked like once.
Hmm.
Ariana Grande as thingy. Her name is facing me.
I don't know.
I know her role in the story. Um I'm gonna have to see how she is. I'm sure she's gonna be great in the singing, but that seems like one of those casting choices of she can sing. I don't know about acting, but she can sing.
Hmm.
Um
Glinda.
uh
That's her character's
yeah.
name.
The one that's playing the witch, I,
But
I don't
isn't
know the
Glinda a witch too?
yeah.
Oh,
She's
okay.
the good witch.
Yeah,
Um,
Cynthia
yeah,
Erivo.
I don't love her as an actress. I'm gonna be honest. She was the Blue Fairy in Pinocchio, and I didn't really care for her then. And I'll say this: her singing is on point. Like that little snippet that they have, when I first heard that, I was like, "Yo, okay, like fire." Um,
She's in Widows as well. Is she any good in that? Do you remember?
I don't actually remember her in that.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of people in that movie.
Hmm.
Um, I like. I appreciate the fact that they made her witch look practical.
Hmm.
You can see it's makeup,
Yes.
but something I don't know if it's her natural lips, but her lips look really weird. If you look at her
Hmm.
too long,
Hmm.
you might start to notice it. You're like, why do her lips look really big? I don't know if that's her natural lips or mouth or whatever. It might be a little nitpick. I don't know. I was looking at her face. I was like, I don't know. Jeff Goldblum as the wizard might be the greatest casting I've ever heard in my life. I heard that I didn't even know he was in this movie. I heard that man's voice. Oh no, I saw his face when he popped up. I said, oh, I was like, what? It's like he's the wizard. That's that, that's amazing. That's amazing casting. I also did not know that the original characters, Wizard of Oz characters, were gonna show up. They showed
Hmm.
that shot of them. I was like, oh, it's like, well, I guess they're gonna be here. Do you see? And the lion is actually a lion. He's not standing
Hmm.
on 2 feet
Right.
because this isn't
Cowardly Lion.
1930 anymore. Um, and Dorothy didn't have her red shoes. I noticed that. I
No,
was
it
like,
had like silver or like
they, I know they weren't
crystal
red.
or like crystal or something like that.
I noticed that. I was like, her shoes aren't red. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, I'm looking forward to this. And this is the first of a two-parter, by the way. They did not.
They
I
didn't
don't know.
advertise that as a part one at all.
Well, they didn't on the trailers, but everywhere else that shared it, they did. They're like, "Oh, first trailer for Wicked Part 1," like Twitter and all that.
Hmm.
They shared it that way, but it wasn't on the trailer and I don't know why.
I don't know if they're
Um
gonna start doing that with the trailers that come out in the future, but people are going to be very upset if they watch this movie and they don't know it's a
well,
part one.
I don't know because I feel like a lot of people know this musical and a lot of people
Hmm.
have seen this musical. So I
Hmm.
think people might be going into this thinking they might split it considering
Hmm.
how big that musical is. I
Hmm.
don't know. I've never seen the musical. I don't know
I
if
haven't
them
seen the
splitting it
musical
in
either.
two parts is the right thing to do. I don't know.
Yeah.
But point is, I was interested in this movie before the trailer. I saw the trailer. I'm like, yeah, I'm there day one. That looks
Hmm.
really good. I also have not finished The Wizard of Oz in its entirety. I've only seen Oz Great and Powerful.
Yeah.
Just putting that. What did you think of the Wicked trailer?
So, I heard that this movie was coming out years ago, and it's been in production for a while, and
Yeah.
I did not realize that we were getting a trailer this soon for it. I knew it was coming out relatively soon though. So it never was really on my radar. I do really enjoy The Wizard of Oz, the original film. Oz the Great and Powerful is good, but I never really had a desire or like any longing to watch Wicked or anything like that. Um, Once I saw the trailer, this trailer is probably a perfect trailer to me. It was the
Teaser.
visuals teaser. Yeah, it was a teaser. It wasn't even a full trailer. The teaser was pretty much perfect to me. It had the visuals were on point, the music was on point. Everything looked so crisp and the production design was fantastic. I wouldn't be surprised if some of that stuff was practical because it looked so good. And the use of CGI, green screen, immaculate. So, does this make me more excited to watch this movie? In some ways, yes. In some ways, no. I'm still not completely sold on the story of it. But the visuals, that's pretty much what get me in the seat is the visuals. And the little snippet of music that they had in it was fantastic.
Well, the story of this movie is basically Oz Great and Powerful. but
Is it?
longer.
Is it? Okay. I would know. I would
I
know
know
that.
I know for a fact the conflict between Glenda and the other witch, that is the core of this story from what
Yeah,
I've
like they
understood.
become friends, like they meet each
Yeah.
other, become
Hmm.
friends, and then that probably the downfall happens in part two and the conflict or whatever. But
Well, because she was green in this trailer, unless she's just always green.
she was born that way. I think. I think she was
Wow.
born that way. But I don't know. It looks great as far as visuals and the sound and music looks fantastic.
Oh yeah, this
I
is
know
a
a lot of
climax for
people, a
sure.
lot of family. It says it's coming out Thanksgiving. That's what people
No,
are saying.
December, Christmas. This is
Something
Christmas.
said thank. Oh, I think Twister said Thanksgiving, or one of those things said Thanksgiving. But yeah, it's gonna be a holiday film. That's what people are going to see. Is this movie?
What you mean? Families aren't gonna go see Nosferatu?
No, people like us will be in there watching that.
Oh yeah. So moving on to the next one. I think there's only like two or three left. I'm gonna talk about this now. This was not my favorite Super Bowl trailer, but it was a really good one. Deadpool 3, or Deadpool and Wolverine as it is titled now.
Mhm.
Um Coming into, we all knew this one. If any trailer was certified that it was coming out, it was this one. Everyone was like, yeah, Deadpool 3, the trailer is coming on Super Bowl Sunday, and it makes sense. Coming into this, I was just like, okay, the trailer's coming out, fine, And it breaks my heart to say that because I love the first two Deadpool movies, and obviously I love the MCU. But I just, with all the leaks and set photos being leaked and all this stuff being spoiled because people don't know how to keep their mouth shut, I was just like, I kind of just don't care anymore. And I know there's going to be more surprises than what I've seen, but and for those saying, "Oh, well, that's what you get for being on Twitter," I don't go looking for this stuff. You think I go in my search bar, Deadpool 3? Ooh, where are the leaks at? It's the same thing with Daredevil Born Again. They keep showing all these set photos from Born Again, spoiling all these characters, and I don't want to know that they're coming back.
Mhm.
But I was like, okay, we've heard some like rumors, like, oh, the TVA is gonna be involved. Let's see what happens. And then we got the Super Bowl trailer. It gave away nothing. It showed like two shots of the whole movie and the 30-second spot, not the official one.
Oh,
I
I
was
didn't
watching
watch
it.
that.
Yeah, I was watching it on TV, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna see this one, and then I'm gonna watch the official trailer. I watched that one, and I was like, "Uh, they told me the title. That was it. Basically,
Is that really all it was?
it was like it played some music, and
Mhm.
then Deadpool was like, "Oh yeah, Deadpool's back," and it showed like the action or whatever, and then it was
Mhm.
like, "Oh yeah, full trailer online."
Oh,
Basically,
okay. Okay.
I was like,
Got you.
What?" It wasn't like the Multiverse of Madness one from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
that is a Super Bowl trailer, ladies and gentlemen. Um, so I went and I watched this trailer. I've seen it a couple of times. Saw everyone. Oh, oh my god! MCU is back. Oh my god. Marvel's back. Deadpool. Oh my god. Wolverine. He wasn't even the trailer, but Wolverine. Oh my god. The TV. Oh my. It's like, I mean, was the trailer good? Yeah, I liked the trailer a lot. I was watching. I was like, all right, that looks neat. I do appreciate that they showed like literally nothing in the trailer in terms of like
Mhm.
story details. If
Mhm.
anything, it had me asking more questions, which I'm fine with.
Mhm.
Keep me guessing. It did such a good job of that said, I was like, I kind of don't want to watch another trailer. Like, I'm sold. I
Yeah.
was already sold. It's Deadpool.
Mhm.
But with what they gave in this trailer, I was like, yeah, I'm okay with not seeing another trailer show. Like, I don't need to see Wolverine cutting people up. I know that's gonna happen in the movie. You know,
Would you say
um,
that you're sold on this movie, but a little nervous as well?
yeah, but
Sure.
I've been that way already.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a little more sold. Like, first thing, the meta ness so far. good. It was funny.
Yes. Yes.
Um, the violence, good.
Mhm.
It's not as gory yet, but granted, it was more violent for a PG-13 trailer than I thought it would have. I
Mhm.
saw like the blood everywhere, and I was like, "Ooh, okay."
Mhm.
Um, the directing is way better than I expected it to be because this is coming from the person that did Free Guy, and I did not like that movie at all. But the action actually has some flavor to it, and
Mhm.
really good flavor to it. Um, and the story that they're pitching on paper, you know, it's an interesting idea, and it's actually the movie is actually more meta than I thought it was gonna be. And I know I'm not saying that like, obviously I know Deadpool is meta, but like what they're doing, I was like, that's more meta than I thought they were going to go. I thought because the first two Deadpool movies, they're meta, but they're more meta with the jokes. Like
Mhm.
they're straightforward movies with meta references and meta
Mhm.
fourth wall breaks. This movie looks like the whole movie is a fourth wall break. And I wasn't really expecting that.
Mhm.
But I'm not mad about that. I was like, look, okay. You know, I
I
think it's
mean,
funny.
it fits for
Yeah,
what
it fits.
Deadpool is and what the story of this movie is. Bringing Deadpool into the MCU.
Hmm.
Yeah, and he makes a little joke at Disney, winks at the camera. Like yeah,
And
it
it was
it makes
funny.
sense. Hmm.
The best part of the trailer is when it starts going down. Like that one part that everyone's like, this is the greatest thing Marvel has done in like 5 years. I'm like, dog, he's
The
reloading a gun.
that
Like
that scene was raw.
it
That
is.
scene was I almost did a flip, bro.
It
I
it's
said,
it's
"Yo,
really
what?
good.
We
Yeah,
never seen nothing like that in the MCU.
yeah.
We ain't seen we could have seen Black Widow doing something like that, but nope.
Could have, should have.
It's raw, bro.
Closest we was Winter Soldier when he's flipping the knife
Oh
through
yeah,
it.
it was
Um,
reminiscent of that for
that
sure.
was really cool. How you that
Yo,
that
and
was
he was
that
like,
was
he
really
had two
cool.
of them, and yo,
Yeah, that was really cool.
I need to go back and watch that again.
The
I've
the,
only
the
seen it
action looks really good. There's a
once.
lot of wide shots, not a lot of shaky cam. It's
Mhm,
violent,
mhm,
Also, the suit, I love it. They brightened it for this movie,
mhm,
and I love it. I
mhm,
always liked the Deadpool suit, but them brightening it to like the comic red Deadpool, perfection.
mhm,
It looks awesome.
mhm.
Um, and I don't mind that we didn't really see Wolverine at the end of the trailer. I
Yeah,
know he's
I
in
didn't
this
mind that either.
movie. Other people know. Well, apparently my mom didn't know he was in this movie. She saw him in that shadow part, and she was like, "What?"
I mean, if you know the title of this movie, you know he's gonna be in
Yeah.
it at this
So,
point.
yeah, I'm going to be there.
Mhm,
Am I thinking this is going to save the MCU? It has the potential to. I think if this is along with what we've gotten for the past year and a half, I think we're screwed.
mhm,
But I don't think it's going to be that way. I
mhm,
think this is going to be a fun ride. Even if it's not a 4.5, 5, I think it's going to be a solid time. I
mhm.
think it's going to be better than what we've been getting. I do think
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
What did you think of the Deadpool 3 trailer?
Um, I absolutely loved the trailer. I didn't watch it until the beginning of the or right before this stream, and I kind of wanted to see it for the first time in theaters, but it's okay. I didn't get to. Um, yeah, man, this trailer really it did something for me. I really enjoyed the first two Deadpool movies, one more than two. But I enjoy both of them quite a bit. Um, I love the meta ness, and this, like we said, we're talking about earlier, it really makes sense. The way the meta ness is being brought forth for this movie, and Deadpool himself. Um, Matthew McFadden. I really enjoy this actor. He's in Succession, and he's also in Pride and Prejudice. and I really enjoy this actor. And to see him in the MCU is very surreal, very surreal to me. But he looked like he's doing a good job for what we saw, and I'm very interested because he's a little bit of a villain in Succession. So
And it's funny. Someone said like, "Oh, what if it's Mr. Sinister?" Because there have been rumors like, "Oh yeah, he might be Mr. Sinister might be in this movie," which would be them delivering on the promise of X-Men Apocalypse. No, what was it? Apocalypse? It might have been Apocalypse.
mm-hmm.
They teased Mr. Sinister at the end of that.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, this trailer, that scene where he's cocking the guns back and reloading, I was like, yo, this is raw. This is dope. So I don't know. I loved it. I'm about to go back and watch the trailer like 12 more times. I can't wait.
I
Can't wait
love
for this movie.
when the elevator doors open and he's doing the
He does the
splits.
splits.
Oh my god.
Yo,
But
I'll
yeah,
be part of your little cinematic universe.
it was a fun trailer, you know.
Hmm.
The next one is we'll keep this one short cuz there's not really much to talk about with this one is Knuckles, the spin-off show for Sonic, which I wasn't really excited for before this trailer. I was like, okay, Knuckles is getting this show. I thought this was actually coming out after Sonic 3. And when they were like, no, it's coming out in the middle of the year, and then Sonic 3 comes out at the end of the year, I was like, okay, so this is kind of like
A stepping
appetizer.
stone. Yeah, a little stepping
Um,
stone to the
and
next movie.
I didn't expect Sonic to be in the show either, which it's gonna
I
be the
didn't
first.
expect a lot of people to be in the show.
Yeah, I
And
saw all those people there. I was like,
yeah,
it's like, okay, they're definitely not staying there past the first episode, but
it didn't look like James Marsden is coming back. But his
he's gonna
wife
be,
is.
yeah,
Oh, he is gonna be in it?
he's gonna be in 3. I know he's gonna be in the movie.
No, no, no.
Uh,
I'm talking about in
yeah,
this
no,
show.
I no, I didn't see him.
Yeah, so his wife is gonna be in the show. It looked like Sonic and Tails is gonna be like part of the show a little bit. I don't know if they're gonna be throughout all 6 episodes.
Yeah,
But and the one guy from the first and second
I
movie
know.
that
Yeah, I
worked
know.
with James Marsden's character, he's gonna be in it. He looks like he's gonna be the main human throughout the entire movie. He was a little bit weird in the second one. They gave him like some weird situations and weird lines and stuff. Like,
The
hopefully they
worst
tone
part.
that back. He
Ooh.
looked fine in this show, in the trailer for this show. So and I really do like that actor. He's in a few comedies that I like, Mindy Project and a show called Happy Endings. So um, I am cautiously optimistic about his character. But yeah, like overall, the what I wanted to say about this trailer is it looked really good.
Yeah, it
The
does.
production looks like
Yeah,
top notch.
yeah.
It looked like
Paramount Plus put some money into this.
it looked like a movie. It looked like the
Yeah,
movies, or
which
maybe even better.
I feel like they are like, listen, we broke everybody's hearts when we released that abomination of a trailer with that thing that we don't
That
speak
thing.
of. So it's either we get it 100% right or
Mhm,
it's terrible. So I feel like from the first movie when they fixed it onward, they're like, no,
mhm.
it's going to look right no matter what,
Yeah,
and it
our
does.
trailer's
It
got to
looks
be.
great.
It does. It looks
So
really good. Kid Cudi is in this show, and he looks like he's gonna be like like one of the villains.
oh
Um,
boy,
and I don't really love his acting. Like, he's a better musician than actor, but
a
like
lot of people are.
it was just interesting to see him there. I did not know he was gonna be in this, and like some of his lines were a little weird, but it's a Sonic spinoff. Like, Idris Elba is returning as Knuckles, the voice of Knuckles, which is dope. And he
I
sounds good.
honestly I love that casting. He is hilarious as
Hmm.
Knuckles. He's
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah, it's
Um,
good. Really
but
good.
like, there's a lot of things I saw in this trailer. I was like, wow, okay, we're taking this seriously. I thought
Hmm.
it was just gonna be like some stupid side thing, you know.
Hmm.
No, do you see? I actually like the idea for this show. How it's
Hmm.
like some random guy, you know, he found the tech and all that stuff, and now he's
Hmm.
trying to perfect it. I was like, it's actually kind of neat, you know,
Need
for
to take
a six
Knuckles'
episode
powers.
story anyway,
Right.
you know.
Hmm.
So I'm okay with this, you know.
Like you said, appetizer. It's not
Yeah,
supposed to be like a 3 season thing. You know.
yeah. Now I hope that the post credit scene, you know, that's when we start cooking because you know
For this
Sonic Three
show.
for Sonic 3. I mean, like,
Oh, okay.
you know, this should be what WandaVision is to Multiverse of Madness. Like, this should
Mm.
be like, okay, this is a nice little adventure thing, but the post credit scene is like, no, okay, here we go. This is for Sonic 3. Let's go. You know,
Do you
um,
think it's gonna tie into Sonic 3 that much?
um,
Like
no,
WandaVision to Doctor Strange?
no. I just meant that it should be like Sonic 3 follows like right after this show.
Yeah, I
Like,
get that.
you know,
I get
but
that.
I
I
don't I
just
don't
I just don't think people are going to watch this like they watch WandaVision. People that
you
are
can tell
watching the
because
movies.
this looks like a show that, like, if you missed it, it doesn't matter,
Right.
you know.
Hmm.
Which I don't know. If the show is good, the show is good. You know, if it's not, it's like, oh well, Sonic 3 is gonna be good. So I'm not really
Yeah. I
stressed out.
really dug this trailer though. I liked it.
Yeah, it was cool. It looked better than I expected it to because I was like, "Ugh, okay, whatever, fine, this is happening." And I watched the trailer. I was like, oh, okay, that actually looks pretty fun. All right. I hope they drop it all at once. Please do not make
They
this
are.
6 weeks.
It's gonna be one drop for all the episodes.
All right. So our last trailer from the Super Bowl is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, baby. Give it to me now. Give it to me now. I need this movie in my life. This trailer was awesome. It was an awesome trailer. We got more plot details. What they're going with is actually really neat. I love the plot and what they're going for. It's this and Furiosa this year, bro. This and
Hmm.
Furiosa are my Deadpool 3. The way everyone's like, no,
Hmm.
Deadpool 3 needs to be good. I need Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes and Furiosa to be freaking amazing. I need that. And Alien Romulus. But these two, I need them to be good because they look just phenomenal. I'm so ready. I'm so ready. Give it to me. May cannot come enough. I'm ready.
Yeah. Yeah. I was telling you off camera or a couple weeks ago, maybe last week. We were talking about Planet of the Apes and how I haven't seen War, and it's kind of hindering my excitement for this new movie. But after I watched this trailer, I don't know if I'm feeling that no more. Like that trailer was so dope, and I can kind of disconnect the trilogy to this movie because it doesn't really feel like it's that much connected at all. Um, and the the apes are talking. Is that something that happens in war? They're like talking like you and I are
Yeah.
talking right now.
Yeah.
That
They
happens in war.
it gets to that point, yeah.
Okay, see, I didn't know that. So I wasn't expecting that watching the trailer. I was like, oh, they talking. Um and I don't know, like the whole hierarchy, the whole hunting humans thing is that is a really good concept, really great
Awesome.
concept, and it's interesting, it's compelling. And I think if this movie doesn't overextend itself, it could be really fantastic. I can see it being a little too long, but if it's straight to the point, it sets up what we're doing, like how we're doing things.
The
Like it's
trilogy.
got yeah. Well, I know it's a trilogy, but like if they set up the hierarchy of the apes, focus on what's happening in the film and then conclude it, ready, get us ready for the next movie, straight, concise, to the point, I think it would be fantastic. And the visuals, man, the visuals to this movie are fantastic, just like the visuals to the original trilogy. Well, the trilogy that, Matt Reeves, but the the visuals, man, the sound and score, fantastic. Um, yeah, man, this trailer got me hyped, bro. It
Yeah,
did.
they got that Disney money now, so they ain't
For
no
real.
excuse for bad CGI for these movies. They got that Disney money. But yeah, this is beyond day one. It was already like that before with the teaser trailer. This man, man,
My
I'm
mom
ready.
texted me like a couple weeks ago. She was like, "Get the tickets for Planet of the Apes. We going to go see that." And something kind of funny. She loves these movies. Like, she absolutely
Mm.
loves Planet of the Apes. She really enjoyed the original ones, and then she watched the trilogy, and she's always trying to watch them with me. But yeah, she's like, get the tickets for that. We going to see it. So, you know, it's gonna be
Now
a
you got
fun
no
time.
choice.
No choice. Well, I mean, I was
You're
gonna see
winning
it any.
now.
I was gonna go see it anyway. But yeah, it'll be something fun to take her to.
All right. Well, those are our thoughts on all of the Super Bowl trailers. Let us know down below what was your favorite Super Bowl trailer, and if you have any thoughts on the ones we talked about, let us know down below. Moving on to the next major trailer, X-Men '97 Season 1 Trailer 1 thoughts.
Yes, sir.
We here, bro. They, mm, this was the epitome of '90s nostalgia, bro.
Yes. Yes.
Um, we'll both keep this short because we have not seen the show yet. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but this was a great trailer. First of all, the animation, oh, amazing. It
Mm-hmm.
looks immaculate. They did a great job recapturing the hand drawn animation, which I love, by the way. I love watching those old cartoons because of their animation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but they did a great job recapturing that with some new modern animation. The colors just look incredible. Um, and we didn't really get a grasp of what the story is here. It's kind of just it just looks like more. It looks like
Mm-hmm.
more X-Men, which I'm fine with,
Mm-hmm.
it looks good, and I think that's all anyone can ask for. And now it's time to plow through the show.
Yeah.
What did you think?
So the trailer starts with Professor X. It's like the ending of the original run. And Professor
Mhm,
X is like dying and he's like on his deathbed. So I'm guessing that the show is going to be like how they fare without him, and like what
mhm.
they do, and the hierarchy of the school and things like that. It looks like we're getting yes, that I agree with that. I agree with that. Let's do
Bro,
that too.
I
Let's
will
do that
buy
too.
an airplane and strap a banner to the back of it and fly it over Marvel Studios. Be like,
90s
please,
Spider-Man.
please.
Yes. But yeah, so like it looks like, you know, we're gonna see the aftermath of, not having Professor Xavier, which I'm very interested in. It looks like Scott and Jean are pregnant. They're having a baby. Um and it just looks like more of the same but modern. Like you were saying, the animation looks great. Having that nostalgic feel with a more modern animation and vibrant colors and things like that. I love that. Something that I wasn't expecting is there is a sequence where Wolverine is running and Gambit jumps on his back, and they do something to make, you know, uh Wolverine's claws glow and looks like it's extra power. Yo, give me that, more of that, bro. If I see that in live action, I will literally do a flip in the theater. I'm not. lying, bro. I'll attempt one. Um, but yo, that got me so hyped, bro. And I just want more of that. Even they did like a little shot of Storm and what she could do, and I was like, yo, what is this, bro? I don't know if they went and did that type of thing in the '90s cartoon,
Well,
but
yeah,
like it.
it's very notorious that the '90s X-Men is the definitive X-Men for like most people.
Okay, so I'm ready to dive into this show and then just go right into this new series because I'm sold, man. I'm sold for this trailer. Um, yeah, I don't really have much to say. Oh, something else that I noticed is it says Marvel Animation instead of Marvel Studios over it. So this is leading me to believe that there are going to be more projects from this studio, and it kind of gets me hype. And
Um,
that what we were just talking about might happen.
I think the reason why they did that is because they confirmed today, even though I knew this already, that it's not in the MCU.
Oh,
So
okay,
I think that's maybe why they did that.
okay.
Um, I don't know.
They
That
might
I
do that. Well, they
maybe
might do that for the Spider-Man show too, the Friendly Neighborhood
yeah.
Spider-Man series, because I know that's not in the
Yeah.
MCU either.
So we'll see when we get What If season 3 this year. We'll see if they throw that on there.
Yeah.
Um, Breaking news: Mickey 17 has been delayed to January 2025, and
Mm,
it's to allow more time to finish the movie and to have the film release in IMAX.
okay,
So
got you.
Bong Joon Ho is cooking up something big with that
Okay.
movie. But I'm glad. I'm glad.
Mhm,
Because we were supposed to have this movie next month, so that means that it must have not been done. But
mhm.
if you guys have seen the trailer for X-Men 97, let us know down below. Are you excited? Have you watched the original show? What do you think of it? Or if you've watched the X-Men movies, let us know if you've seen those and if they compare to the show. Moving on to our final trailer before our spoiler talk, Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. Trailer numero dos. I love this stupid shit. I swear I do. Give it to me now. I don't care. I love it. This looks outrageous and I can't wait. I will be there Thursday night with the biggest smile on my face. I hope they make a Godzilla popcorn tin where it's like him and you open his mouth or something and it's the popcorn. I need that in my life. This looks so stupid. I can't wait. I cannot wait. Now, this trailer did give us some more details as to what's happening. So, this is kind of light spoilers, light because it's not totally obvious in the trailer. And if I didn't hear Adam Wingard say what he said, I wouldn't have made the connection. So, eh, kind of light spoilers. If you don't want to know anything about this movie, don't listen to what I'm saying. But this is very much in the trailer. So, Adam Wingard was basically saying that um Godzilla will have there will be different variants of Godzilla in this movie, basically. And we basically saw that in this trailer. There's a scene where Kong is in like the caves and you see this thing light up and it shoots a atomic breath thing and I was like, okay, that's not
Let's blow.
pink. Yeah. And there's another scene where Godzilla's blue and he like does an EMP thing and takes out all these things, which is awesome by the way.
It was
Um
amazing.
and then we obviously see later in the trailer we see the pink Godzilla doing whatever thing. So it's leading me to believe that either we're gonna get two different Godzillas, which I don't know how that happens, but I think that's going to happen. Or what's gonna happen is that Godzilla is like regular Godzilla, like in the first half of the movie, and then something happens like and he's like messed up and then they have to throw him in the ice like King of the Monsters,
Mhm,
and he comes out all pink and purple and all that stuff. I feel like that's might be what's going on here
mhm.
because I feel like what I just said is more logical than two Godzillas.
Yes. Yeah, I think it might
And
be that one.
I'm hoping for that. By the way, the second one. I don't want two different Godzillas. That's ridiculous. That's more ridiculous than this trailer looks. But I think that's what's going to happen. Um, and if it does, then I was like, well, okay. I guess that explains why he's pink now. Um, but yeah, the trailer itself, the action was raw. The CGI looks great. Give it to me. Monsters punching things. Give me. Don't give me humans.
He drank some fruit punch. That's why he's yellow, or that's why he's pink. Drank some fruit punch. No, this trailer is it looked so good, bro. I'm so excited for this movie now. The first trailer it was exciting. I liked it a lot, but I still had some questions. I was still questioning some things. No, after this trailer, give it to me, bro. Give it. I need it. Um, Godzilla versus Kong, I really enjoyed. So seeing them together again, they don't have to like each other. They just got to work together. I love that line. It's so corny, but I'm ready, bro. Like the corniness is, at a peak with these trailers lately, but I'm ready for it. Give it to me. Um, yeah, it was good, man. It was a good trailer.
That
The whole thing with the variants and stuff like that, I did not know about that before you mentioned that. I don't really love that idea, but if it works, it works, bro. I'm sitting
I
here
think
after you said that, I'm sitting here thinking of the third act. If two Godzillas are fighting this monkey, and I'm like,
no,
what? Both of them shooting atomic breath at him, one pink, one
bro.
blue, coming from each direction. I'm like, yo, is that gonna be raw?
It's gonna look like a baby shower. That's what's
I
gonna look
I
like.
don't know. But
Is
yeah,
it a boy or a girl? I don't know. Yeah.
let's find out. Nah, bro, but no, this trailer is dope though. I'm ready for it. This looks like a turn your brain off type movie, and I'm ready to turn my brain off.
Yeah, that Thursday night New York crowd. Oh yeah,
Is that a mini Kong?
that's what I live for.
Oh, I forgot to talk about. Dan Stevens is in this movie. I didn't know that he was going to be in this movie. He looks like a breath of fresh air to this franchise as far as the humans are concerned, because a lot of these humans feel so stale and one note. And this guy is coming out and he's like, yo, let's go. Hey, he's like us. Like we hype for
Yeah.
this movie, and he's hyped to be there. And I really like Dan Stevens as an actor. He was in Downton Abbey, believe it or not, and a totally different character. But he's gonna be in that Abigail movie as well.
Mm.
So it looks like he's getting more work, but I really like that actor, and I'm ready for this movie, man.
Oh, I know his face. He's the Beast in
He's
Beauty and the
he
Beast.
is the Beast and Beauty and the Beast. Yep.
I know his face. I've seen him
Hmm.
in some. I know his face.
He's in other stuff too. He
Um,
was in a show called Legion, which is
the
a
X Men
X
show.
Men series that's very strange. It's a
Yeah,
very strange show, but it's good. It's a good
yeah.
show.
I've heard that show is very
It's
weird.
bonkers.
Um, but yeah, man. If you guys have seen the Godzilla X Kong trailer 2, let us know down below what you think. Are you excited for the movie as we are, or are you just over this and you want to watch Godzilla minus one again? Moving on to our main topic for today. That is the Madam Web spoiler talk discussion. If you guys have seen Madam Web, or if you don't care, I know it's the second one, and you want to hear spoilers or don't want to hear spoilers, you can leave now if you don't want to hear spoilers, although there's nothing to spoil. If not, stick around.
Sorry, my bad. Oh,
Wh-
Okay. Yeah.
where do I start?
Yeah. Where do we start with this? I guess we'll
So
start with the with who directed and who stars
no,
in
I
it.
just want
No.
to. I just want to. So a Madam Web movie was announced
Hmm.
September 27th, 2019. And they announced like
Dang.
Morbius also, I think around that time. So then they casted Dakota Johnson in 2022 to play
Mm.
Madam Web. This movie was actually supposed to come out last year, but they delayed it. I don't remember if it was because of the strikes. I know they delayed Craven because of the strikes. I don't remember if
Mhm.
they delayed this because of the strikes. And then um this movie just, it started becoming a thing. It was supposed to come out like 3 days before or after Valentine's Day, and they pushed it back to Valentine's Day, thinking they could make some money off of it. Yeah, that worked really well. Um, so hearing that they announced this movie in 2019 and they didn't cast Dakota Johnson until 2022. Now, granted, COVID happened. A lot of things were in the air. Fine. But still, 3 years before you start casting your lead actress for a movie, mind you, that was supposed to come out the year after that. The answers were on the wall already.
It ain't
And
adding up. The
then
math not mathing.
yeah, and then we started hearing like, oh, Sydney Sweeney's going to be in this movie, and Isabella Merced, and Adam Scott, Emma Roberts, and I was like,
Roberts.
okay, it seems like they're making it like Birds of Prey. Like that's what the cast looks like. And I started seeing the set photos and I was like, maybe this movie's going to be like Birds of Prey. Like they're going to have it be like an all female cast and it's going to be like a fun type movie. We didn't know anything about this movie. All we knew was that it was a Madam Web movie and it was coming out. That's it. We didn't know what the story was. We didn't know what the tone was. We didn't know what the plot was. I'm questioning if I still know those things after seeing the movie. Um, but
Facts.
point is that's where we were. And then we watched the trailer and it's like a horror vibe kind of. And I
Yeah.
was like, well, I wasn't expecting that. That's okay. And I just watched this trailer and it just looks so incompetently atrocious in every manner. And it's rather impressive with this movie how the trailer was atrocious. The posters looked atrocious. The plot synopsis sounded atrocious. And the movie itself was atrocious. And it's just I can't remember the last movie that was the case. Like
Mm,
Aquaman 2 had a terrible production, but the trailer came out and I was like, okay, that looks pretty okay. They
mhm.
saw the movie and it wasn't good. This movie it was consistent the whole way. It was nothing made me excited. Nothing made this go worse. It was just nothing. If anything, the bad reviews made me excited. So now we get to a week. Well, a week tomorrow has passed since this movie has come out. Everyone, I feel like everyone saw this, believe it or not. Like I feel like a lot of people saw this movie. Not in terms of box office, but like pretty much everyone I know on Letterbox that I'm in cahoots with saw this movie. I saw
Minus Alex.
reviews from them, minus Alex and John and
Oh,
Luke.
John didn't see it. Oh, okay.
Luke didn't see this movie either.
Hmm. Hmm.
I was drunk, by the way, when I saw this movie. I didn't want to, but my friend was like, "Yo, let's get hammered before we see this movie because if this movie's gonna be bad, let's just be, not all there for this movie." And I was like, "Shit, okay, well, fuck it." So I was hammered as hell. I was watching this movie. It did nothing at all. It was still bad. For those expecting me to scream my head off and blow a blood vessel, I'm not going to, because I've had a very long day. B, it's just not worth it. These people don't deserve my voice. And C, this was expected. So I can't. This is one of those situations where it was bad and I expected it to be bad. So I can't be mad when it was bad. I can be mad at other things, but I can't be mad at the movie for being bad because I knew it was going to be bad. I knew that it was going to be a dumpster fire. So when I walked out of this movie with my hands on my head, questioning everything I just watched, questioning reality, questioning if I just saw a fucking movie for 2 hours, I can't be mad at that. I can only sit there and say, well, I told myself, in this weird I told you so. All you have to do is watch what's come before it. Watch Venom, watch Let There Be Carnage, and watch Morbius. Watch the decline, which is not, it's not a high decline either, because the first Venom is not that good. But the first Venom compared to this movie is like Return of the King.
Filet mignon.
Like, you watch that movie and all this shit makes you appreciate that movie more because it's shot like a real movie. It has actual good CGI. Well, in some parts. I don't like when he's fighting the other Venom. That is terrible. Um, you just the writing is on the wall. The writing is on the wall. This movie was bad. Everything about it was bad. There was maybe one or two things I liked. This movie was bad. It has terrible acting, god awful writing, bland and just ugly cinematography. It's a jumbled mess, and most of all, it's just boring. And at the end of this, I felt like it was just the most worthless and boring comic book movie I've seen probably ever. Because something like Morbius, which I've seen 4 times, I can watch that movie and laugh and just be like, "Man, this was just a bad idea." I can't laugh at this movie because it's just boring and it's so bland. It has no energy. It just has no anything to it. It's just people there going through the motions for 2 hours so that way they can get a big fat fucking Sony paycheck and they can move on and do surely better things than this movie. And when you make a movie like that, it's fucking disgusting. And it's a slap in the face to everyone else that's trying to make better and more interesting movies. Instead of them getting their voices out, we have to sit and watch nonsense like this that is so inconsequential and just nothing, and you just see that its only purpose, and I mean the only purpose, is to make money and nothing else. It's not setting up another Spider-Man. It's not setting up another sequel to this movie because, and people might say, "Oh, well, it was." Yes, it is, but it's never going to happen. So I'm saying it's not setting it up. There's no characters we know, nothing. This movie's only purpose is to make money. You know how I know that? Because they took the most marketable pieces from this movie of the girls in the costumes and said, let's plaster that all over the marketing for this movie. Let's throw it on the posters. Let's throw it in the trailer. Let's make little TV spots and throw them on Instagram because that's going to get everybody in the seats. And what happens when you sit down and you realize that all of that is only 30 seconds of this movie? You realize they got you. And you can do nothing but sit there and take it because you are a fool. That is Sony in 2024. Sony and Warner Brothers, they, man, They in competition for who's the stupidest and greediest company. I don't know. I just I this is this I watched this movie and it made me just give up. I was like, I can't keep doing this. I can't. I cannot keep doing this anymore. With these Sony movies. I can't. And people might say, "Oh, well, you don't have to watch them." I'm going to watch them because I watch everything Marvel. That's just how it is. I watch mostly Marvel and DC everything. That's just how it is. I don't want to. I didn't want to see this movie, but I was probably going to at one point or another because it is a Marvel thing. That's just how I feel. I'm tired. I This movie made me tired.
How do I follow that? Um, so walking into this movie, I had pretty much no expectations. I heard so many negative reviews, and I was like, I'm gonna, have an open mind. You know, there's some movies out there people hate, and I actually kind of like. So, this is I'm gonna walk in with an open mind and take it for what it is. There are a few aspects to this movie that I don't mind. And I'm kind of like, oh, if they explored that a little bit better, it would be okay.
This whole movie is that.
I kind of like the idea of Madam Web seeing glimpses of the future and like making a difference. That was the majority of the first part of this movie. Um Once she met the girls and you know this person is after them. Oh, we didn't talk about the ADR. But
Oh, we'll get there.
we'll get there. This person is after them, Ezekiel
Sims.
Sims. Yeah. And it's somebody from Madam Web's past or whatever. I feel like after that, like this movie kind of took a downward spiral. And it's just the concept could have worked. It's the execution was not there. It was not there in any way, shape, or form. There are two scenes that I like in this movie, though. I will say, I like the diner scene and I like the subway scene. I think each scene kind of leaned into the horror aspect of what was presented here. They abandoned it. Then we learn about how to do CPR for 5 minutes. But you know, like you said, it was kind of expected that this movie was not gonna work out. It wasn't gonna be good. Um, I kind of went against my better judgment going in without any expectations, but I try to give everything a fair shot.
Which is what I would have done if I didn't see this in theaters. I still would have been like, okay, I did that with freaking Blood and Honey, Winnie the Pooh, and I ended up not hating that movie either. Which
At,
also side note, the second one actually kind of looks really fun for what it is. Just saying.
at the end of the day, this is not a real movie. This is a movie that doesn't really know what it wants to be. Writing wise, acting wise, story wise, like the tone is all over the place. The the acting is just not there. I think some of the actors were trying, but
I
like
think
it's
all the actors are trying. They're just not giving anything.
I don't know about Dakota Johnson. I wasn't really feeling it from her. And then if you watch her in interviews, you could just tell like she wasn't in it. She wasn't her heart wasn't in it. She was like, it's a paycheck, basically.
I mean, but granted, was that before or after she looked at the script?
I don't know. I don't know when it was. She said, I don't think I'm really gonna watch this movie. Maybe I'll watch it eventually. I don't know. Which is weird because she was at the premiere. She probably just dipped out before the movie started. She's like, I know this is not gonna be good. Like, and she said, she said she acted in front of green screens pretty much the entire time. She don't even know how this movie gonna turn out.
No, it looked like it, but
Uh, the ADR on the villain, um,
it might be the worst I've ever heard in my life. It's
it's
so bad.
really
You
bad.
But this is the thing though. There's a difference between bad ADR and this movie.
Yeah,
It's so bad that I saw this in IMAX.
me
I
too.
pay for a. Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh man, you got it bad. You got the Abe Lincoln.
I saw it in IMAX as well. I said, might as well.
Oh,
No, it fit the time that I was able to go see it.
mm,
So that's the only reason why I saw it in
oh
IMAX.
no, we had the Abe Lincoln seats and a bad movie. Oh
Yep.
no. Um, the ADR is so bad that it sounds like okay. This is what it sounds like. It sounds like you're watching a video at school and it's on the screen, you hear it clear as day. And then all of a sudden, the principal makes an announcement on the intercom. And you can't really hear the movie, but you hear the announcement. That's what the ADR sounds like in this movie. It sounds like it's not even a part of the same. I don't know editing or whatever, but it sounds like it doesn't sound like it's on the same audio track or something. It sounds like the sound cuts out and you just hear that voice, but it's not a part of the movie. It just sounds weird and
Mhm.
really dumb. And this actor is supposed to be French. Apparently, he's a really good actor.
Hmm.
There's a couple of really good actors in this movie, so it goes with the flow with this piece of shit. Um, the so the actor is French, and I'm seriously convinced that they didn't like his American accent that he was trying to do.
Mhm.
So they said, we're going to have some actor come in and dub over your voice and your lines, and that's going to
Mhm.
be your voice for this movie.
The entire film, not even like part
Yeah.
of it.
The problem is, you didn't sync the voice with the dude's lips in the movie. There will be scenes where he's talking and you see they don't even try to hide it. That's the best part. They don't even try to hide it. You see scenes where he's like this and you see his mouth moving and the math ain't mathing. The words
The
and the
audio
lips
is
don't
not syncing
match.
up. It's not.
I noticed it the first time. My friend noticed it the second time. And we died of laughter both times. And it's not even that. It's not even only that. There's parts where he's running on a building and he's like, I'll be there in 5 minutes. I'm going to get a sandwich at the deli and then I'll be there in 2 seconds. Like,
Yes.
why? And then there's parts like after he does things like that, like an action sequence. You would think he'd be like, "Oh man, I'm really tired. Like, oh man, I gotta take a bath or something." No, he'll be like, "Oh man, I gotta take a bath. Like, man, like I'm going through it right now."
Yeah. Yeah.
It's that's not how you mix audio. I don't understand what happened. And it's a shame because I was watching Venom and I actually really like when the symbiote is talking to him and it's like really loud. He's like and it's like really loud. I actually really like that. And I was like, how do you do that so well? But you can't do something as simple as this. I don't
Yeah.
I don't understand. And
My
if
big
this was
is. Mhm. Go ahead.
and if you
Go
were
ahead.
gonna do this, why would you cast a French actor? Just cast another actor. Who cares?
I guess they watched it after they filmed everything and was like, nope, we got to get somebody else in here. Um, one of the biggest problems with this for me is I didn't like the voice actor who was doing the voice, the
It
ADR
doesn't
voice.
it sounds like
It
2
doesn't.
totally different people.
He doesn't look like he sounds. Number
Yeah.
one, and I just didn't like like the way that he was saying things, like his tone of voice, his overall demeanor in his voice. I just didn't like it. It didn't sound menacing. It didn't sound like intimidating in any kind of way. It just was like it wasn't there for me.
Yeah.
Vocally at all. If they would have hired a better voice actor and fit this character a little bit better, then I would say, hey, it was bad ADR, but at least I like the voice. I can't even
And,
say that.
and it doesn't help that he looks like an absolute jackass in this movie, bro. He looks so laughably bad. The scene, listen, the diner scene is fine. But when he walks into the diner, he's walking in like, yeah, like I'm big and bad,
He's like, I got
I'm
this.
I'm gonna mess you up, and I'm like, not with that costume, you ain't.
The Party City costume, bro. Man went to Walmart and went to the Halloween section, bro. He
Oh,
said,
it's
"This ain't
so
Miles Morales,
bad.
but it'll do."
It's so bad. It's so bad. Like the fact that somebody designed it and said it was good and went with it is just it's like, wow, somebody made that decision. Like, wow. It just makes you sit and think about your life. Like, I'm not going to go through my life making decisions like that or as stupid as that. Um the so I'm seeing this go around that the rumor storyline for this movie before they changed it, or I don't know if this was ever a thing, was that it was going to be that in a nutshell they were trying to protect Matt, not Madam what, Mary,
Mary
Aunt
Parker.
May.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
Mary
Aunt
Parker.
May.
Aunt May, yeah.
Okay.
Emma Roberts, because
Oh, that's
the
Mary Parker.
isn't, oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, Peter's mom, whatever.
Mhm.
And that the plot was supposed to be that Ezekiel was going after her to kill her and kill Peter,
So
because
Spider
in
Man.
the future, yeah, Spider-Man, because in the future, Spider-Man kills him.
Is that an official what it was supposed to be?
I'm seeing it around. I don't know if it's true or not, but if that's true,
I can
that's
see that.
light years better.
I can see that definitely being the case. But they were like,
And
"Oh, we can't do Spider Man, so we got to change this into the three girls kill him in the future, so we got to have him go after them," which is not the absolute worst concept if they would have followed through.
the
They
other thing is,
they did not
why did
follow
they
through with
kill
that.
him? Why did they kill him? He looked like he was just chilling in his house, looking like Albert Einstein or whatever. He was vibing.
It
Then,
doesn't make
then they
sense.
then they break into his house. Freaking X gonna give it to
Albert,
you and destroy
Albert
him, bro.
he's the epitome of Thanos in the garden, bro. Like
No, literally, bro. He's just vibing, doing his little science, and they break in, and then they all use their stupid little powers. She's got like these spider arms that they look like they're made out of toothpicks. They don't even look like metal.
it was like I don't know, like, and then what's her name? What was her name? Sydney
Don't
Sweeney's character.
Julia.
Yeah,
She
like
has
I
like these
guess she
Dragon Ball Z characters or
is that
powers
some
or
is
something.
that something from the comics? Did the
I don't
comics
know.
have that?
I don't know. I have no idea. And then
Julia, what's her name? Julia Carpenter.
I don't care.
I
And
mean,
then
that's a.
she
I mean, I think that's a big character in the comics, though. I think she's a big character in the comics, but
And then like
nevertheless,
Isabella Merced's character has like this little stupid little drone that she keeps throwing it or whatever. I was like,
yeah. Yeah. And that's those scenes were shot really badly too. Like you could barely see
they're
what was
terrible.
happening. It was so many cuts.
And
The editing was really bad. Like
it's funny because in the trailer, the way they showed in the trailer is like, oh, they're not trying to show it. It's like,
mhm.
oh, okay, I get it. Like you're showing it in flashes to kind of tease it. No, That's how it's
That's
shown in the movie.
literally how it is in the
It's
movie.
dark, dim, in the shadows, and you barely see them.
Yeah.
And it's not even like they 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 don't give you a reason why they're killing this dude, and they just murder him. They grab him and they just kick him out the window. I was like, what did he do? He had a better death here than he had at the end of the movie, which was awful. But
What with the S crushing them?
yeah. Um,
Oh, we didn't talk about the little sequence where she goes underwater and she sees all of this stuff and has visions and like she sees a balloon and yo, when I
oh,
saw that, I said PS3. That's PS3, bro.
you see, this would have been the thing if they actually cared about this movie. This would have been the scene to where she goes in and does whatever this is. Maybe show a scene from Venom. Maybe show a scene from Morbius or Let There Be Carnage. Show that she sees this universe or whatever. But no, we don't get that. Instead, we get random things. It's like, oh, this is gonna happen in the future, and blah 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 blah, and all this nonsense.
They're trying to keep it self-contained.
Yeah,
Mm.
right. I want to talk about the cast and director and all that. I don't blame a single iota of this movie of how bad it is on them at all. There's three elements to this movie that I blame for how bad it is, and I'll get to that in a second. I don't blame Dakota Johnson or any of the four girls. I don't blame the director either, because the director, she's a first time film director, but she's directed, like, I think she did The Defenders and maybe an episode or two of Daredevil. They were given absolutely nothing. I know Sydney Sweeney is a good actress. I've seen Dakota Johnson be good. She's really good in Bad Times at the El Royale. She's actually really good in that movie. Isabella Merced, listen, I've been knocking this girl on. I feel like I've been knocking on this girl for the past like 3 weeks on Nerd Talk because there have been topics involving her. Man, I can't wait for her to be Dina in Last of Us, huh?
This was not the role to judge her in that. I'm telling you, bro. Like I was sitting here watching this, I was like, "Oh, Tyler gonna have something to say about her."
No, but
This,
again, I'm not gonna blame her. I'm not gonna blame. I've never seen the third actress
I've
anywhere.
seen her in something. I forget what it is though. I gotta look it up.
I don't blame any of them, nor Adam Scott. Although Adam Scott is the best part of this movie,
He is.
legitimately. I really like Adam Scott, but Adam Scott is one of those actors where he's gonna take uh shit and make it turn to gold. He has the funniest lines in this movie, and those come very far and few between.
She was in Ghostbusters Afterlife and Freaky.
Oh, I think she plays Finn
Yeah,
Wolfhard's girlfriend or something.
yeah. The girl, the love interest or whatever for him.
She was
Hmm.
she was good in that.
Hmm.
Um, but point is, I don't blame the five people I just stated because this, oh, excuse me, this movie relies heavily on its script and its studio. The script to this movie was written by two individuals. Those two said individuals wrote movies as The Last Witch Hunter, Dracula Untold, Power Rangers, which is not bad by the way, and Morbius. They took the same two writers that wrote Morbius after they heard everyone say that movie was horrendous. And rightfully so. That movie is written in crayon. And they gave them another movie. And they took that script and threw it at a director and said, direct this. I think the director did the best she could. I don't blame I put the blame on them and the studio Because I guarantee you, if the director had said, "Oh, I don't want to do this. This is ridiculous. This script is awful," they would have threw her out like yesterday's garbage. Who's gonna pass up the opportunity to direct a Sony superhero movie? Now, there's that, and there's also the fact that Dakota Johnson said, "Oh, when I first signed on, the script was much better."
Mhm.
Who's to say they didn't write a better script that was legitimately good? And then when she agreed and signed a contract, and the other people did, they went in and they pulled their Morbius nonsense and made it awful. And then she goes to read the script at the line reading, and she's like, "Wait,
This is not what I
what?"
read a year ago.
I blame this movie on them. I do. The writing in this movie, it's not writing. It's not writing. This movie was not written by real humans. I'm convinced. And if it is, they don't need to write anything ever again. I don't call for people to lose their jobs. I would never do that. But when you write a, a couple of genuinely bad movies, and then you write one of the worst Marvel movies ever made, and then you're given the opportunity to write again, and you do it not only as bad, but worse, what does that tell you? You don't need to be writing Sony Marvel movies anymore.
Yeah, might need to go back to school.
But they said, "Oh, well, that's the safe bet. They wrote the last one. Let's just get them to write this one." That's not the safe bet because clearly you don't listen. The, the acting in this movie is very bland. It ranges from bland to god awful. Sydney Sweeney, my dear, I love you. You got it bad in this movie. You did, and I know it's not your fault. But the line delivery and the dialogue in this movie, they wrote her to be like, come on guys, stop fighting, like come on, let's just all get along and let's go and hang out, like come on. I was like, I was just
They did her.
flabbergasted.
They did her dirty. They did her dirty, bro.
Isabella
They did.
Merced, I feel like she was the least bad out of the three, believe it or not. I was like, she's barely got stuff to do, and when she's got stuff to do, she's not horrible.
Yeah,
Like, you know, the other one though,
yeah. She was supposed to be the comic relief, and these people don't know how to write jokes.
"You don't like me when I'm hangry. I'm about to get hangry. I want my cherry pie. I need my cherry pie."
Yeah,
The pacing in this movie is atrocious, all over the place. It's
I don't
boring.
even know like what to say. Like I don't even know. Is it is the movie moving at all? Like it don't feel like the movie. It feels like the movie is
It
stagnant
feels
for
like
like the
what
majority of it.
it's funny. Once she meets with the girls and all that, it's supposed to that signifies the point of it got going,
The
but
second
it
act,
actually stopped.
it
And it
actually
feels like
stopped.
it's like it was
It
building,
did.
it was building and building. They met up, and Ezekiel was going after them. It's like, okay, this is the point where it's supposed to get going. But after that, that's when it gets painfully boring, and it never picks up again.
Yeah.
Things happen, but you just don't care.
Yeah, and then we're
There,
in the third act, and we're like, "Oh, this is the third act. Like this whole movie has been the same, pretty much." Like,
and it doesn't help that the I found all three of these twerps annoying as hell. That all they did was argue and fight, and it doesn't help that Madam Web or sorry, Cassandra Webb. Wow, her last
Cassie,
name is Webb.
Cassie. Yep.
It doesn't help that she is just an asshole. She is so mean to these girls for no reason. They just basically got kidnapped. And they are asking legit questions to this woman who kidnapped them. She's like, "What are you doing? Where are you taking me? Can I go home?" All three legit questions to someone you don't know, throwing you in a yellow cabin, going on a full speed high. pursuit in the middle of Manhattan. And she's like, stop talking, shut up, leave me alone. You guys are pissing me off. Like, I was like, what did they do to you? Like, they're concerned and
Like, are
scared.
you trying to save them, but you hate them at the same time? Like, pick your poison. Like,
You know, the action is it's very whatever. Like, nothing stands out to me. If anything, there's more funny moments in the action than anything. Like, jumping ahead, the part where she hits Ezekiel with the ambulance was the most unintentional laugh in the movie for me. Me and my friend bursted out with laughter when that happened because it's just hilarious.
that's what I said
Um,
about the diner scene when she drove into the diner when
that
she
was funny
smacked
too.
him in the diner. So she keep hitting this dude with cars and he's not dying.
And also they didn't know what to do with Ezekiel's powers either. Like, he's clearly supposed to be oh my god, I forgot all about that. I'll talk about that in a second. He's supposed to be like a Spider-Man character ish, and like he's supposed to have Spider-Man powers. He crawls on the wall, he can run on the walls, fine. But you just see, like, they kind of show him swinging, but he doesn't shoot webs,
Mhm.
and he just jumps, kind
He
of.
jumps, yeah, he jumps. He
Like,
can climb
so
walls and stuff, but
can you just climb walls? Like, what are your powers? I don't understand that.
I think strength and jumping.
They
That's
don't
pretty
like
much it.
they don't establish him as a villain. He's just a villain. He's just there from the word go. We don't know anything about his powers. We don't know where he got them. He's just
Well,
there.
I think we assume that they got him. He got them from the spiders in the Amazon, but that's where Madam Web or Cassandra got her powers as well. So they have similar powers. He can see the future. It's not as strong as Cassandra can see them, but like I said earlier, they had a concept going here where he could see the future. And he sees himself dying or getting murdered. That kind of flips the whole narrative on its head where he could be the protagonist of this movie, but they didn't do anything with that. That would have been kind of interesting to me to see where he's running from them, kind of in a way, and they're like trying to attack him. And like, if they would have went that way with that movie, and I would have been kind of like a little interested, but they abandoned that. They're just like, oh, he's gonna be the villain because they're murdering him in the future.
One of the amazing lines of dialogue in this movie that I swear to you, I felt my body levitate out of my seat to leave. When That's how bad this line of dialogue was. They, it's after the first action sequence. They're trying to figure out what really happened, and Sydney Sweeney, she's like, "Oh, did you see the way he was crawling on the wall? How did he climb on the wall like that?" And Cassandra was like, "Well, I don't know. I guess he had like spider powers or something like that, I think." And she's like, "What was he like? A spider person or something?"
Yeah, I said, oh, I said it audibly in the theater. I said, oh, yikes.
I sat like this throughout the whole scene, the rest of that scene. I gave up. I was like, "No."
There's other scenes in that movie that are kind of like that too,
Um,
where they're trying to
the-
like guess the name of the baby.
oh my god. The
It's just like,
I would say that that scene was terrible, but it did provide the funniest laugh in the movie for me, where she was like, "Well, what about your mom?" And
like she died in childbirth.
Cassie was like,
Like,
"Oh yeah, she died in childbirth." And it was like, "Hey,
you
you
probably you
weirdo."
won't die. That
That was kind of
was
funny.
funny. That was funny.
My whole
I
theater
admit it.
actually laughed for that one. And I was like, "Oh,
I admit it.
well, that was kind of funny." The scene in the diner, I kind of like it. The song choices, the song choice is clever. I
Hmm.
I I do think it's clever, not because it's Britney Spears, but because he has like
The
toxic
toxic
touch.
powers, yeah.
So that's
That was
clever.
very on
I
the
like
nose
that
with that.
idea. The thing is, this seems like an action sequence that they wanted to edit the action to the song, and they can't edit the action to the song because the people that edited this movie can't edit. So because of that, they just had the song playing.
They had the song playing with the score, which
Yeah,
was
that
a
too.
very odd choice. Like, and it wasn't even mixed well. It was like the song was playing and the score was playing at the same time. I'm like, yo, I don't hate this scene. I'm cool with this scene, but like, why somebody couldn't edit the freaking score, the soundtrack to the score, bruh? Like, like you had
Oh,
one job. Like,
everyone had a lot of jobs with this movie that failed.
oh, man.
The scene itself is fine. I like them dancing on the table. I thought it was kind of funny.
Mhm,
Um, there were some camera shots that were kind of cool. But again, we all saw it. We saw it all in the trailer. You see
mhm,
this whole movie in the trailer, minus a couple things. So when they did the thing where he jumps on the ceiling and throws her, I'm like, okay, it was cool in the trailer and it's cool now. Like, what do you want me to
mhm.
tell you? Yeah, you showed me a clip from the trailer. Good job. You know, um, that was probably like I was like, okay, I guess it's the best scene in the movie. The exposition. Oh my god, the exposition in this movie. The, she literally goes to her house and finds this like random journal that I guess her mom had. And instead of showing like a flashback showing her mom studying the spiders or whatever, she literally reads out every single word in this journal, and she like emphasizes words like twice. That way the idiots in the audience, even though we're not idiots, I don't know, maybe they knew people would be drunk and they was like, nah, he's drunk. He's not paying attention to this. I need to say this again. That is the worst exposition you can have in a movie. It makes your audience feel stupid. And you don't want to do that with a movie. You want to treat your audience like they know what they're watching, like a Mission Impossible movie. Mission Impossible, well, some of the Mission Impossible movies, the good Mission Impossible movies, don't treat the audience like they're stupid. They allow the audience to figure things out on their own. They don't need to be told things. This movie does not believe in that. This movie is just, now we're going to tell them everything. They can't figure out anything on their own. Or we can't reveal it in an interesting way. She just needs to sit there and read from paper. And if they don't listen, they miss it.
And attempt to climb a wall in your apartment.
I kind of got a chuckle out of that. Kind of. Although somebody pointed out a logical thing with that. When she slips down, it wouldn't make the sound that it makes because it sounds like she's rubbing, like, when you rub your hand against like glass or
Mhm,
something, and it's like
mhm, mhm.
like it makes that sound when she's falling off the wall in her apartment. And I was like, it wouldn't sound like that. You just inserted that sound because you thought it'd make the scene funnier, and which it doesn't. It's like the scene is barely funny anyway. Um, Adam Scott. Adam Scott was good. He was like he was good. He did what he had to do. He read awful dialogue, but he also made some awful dialogue sound pretty okay. He was good. I liked seeing him. I liked him the most. Like when he was on the screen the most, that's when I was like least hating the movie. I was like, it's Adam Scott."
I
Emma
agree with that.
Roberts was absolutely wasted in this movie. It's a shame because I actually really like Emma Roberts a lot. She was wasted. Um, the third act. But first of all, before I get into that, this movie is insanely predictable. Um, at a certain point you could predict pretty much everything that's going to happen. When she reads from that stupid journal, you're like, okay, she's going to go back to where her mom was, in the beginning. She's going to get some stupid exposition, and then she's going to come back and they're going to do something, but they're going to win anyway.
I will
That's
say
exactly
when she went back and the guy was telling her about her abilities and stuff, and he was like, "Yeah, you can show up at multiple places at once." And I was thinking about that. I was like, that could be kind of cool, like showing up different places at once by using her powers. Like that could be kind of cool looking.
if it
And then
didn't
we
look terrible.
and then we got to the third act, and yeah, continue.
So we get this third act. You saw all of this in the trailer. You saw the ambulance chase in the trailer. You saw the part where she shocks him. You saw the part where the debris is falling. Oh, speaking of that, product placement. This movie should be called Sony's Madam Web by Pepsi.
Yep, I wanted a Pepsi after.
They they're drinking Pepsi throughout the whole movie. She's drinking Mountain Dew Code Red, which is the best Mountain Dew, by the way. So, Cassandra Webb, she's got some good taste.
Yeah, that's
Um,
probably like when Code Red was coming out. Like what was this?
oh
2003.
03. Yeah, oh
Yeah,
03.
that's probably when it was coming out.
And then the whole third act is under a Pepsi sign. And I understand, like, oh, this is a landmark in New York. Yes, it's a landmark, but it's still product placement. It does not matter. Speaking of that 2003 time period, there's a piece of technology in this movie that was introduced, and I said, "There's no way, no way." It's basically a piece of technology that can find the girls in that time period, and it's going through like all the security cameras, and they even have the images of them when they grow up, and it just decodes them to their younger ages. I'm like, did you pull it from the future? Like, if they did that, then fine. But how?
It's an
And
Instagram
then
feature.
like it's doing the things that the God's Eye does in Fast and Furious, where it finds people's images through like security cameras or something. It does that to one of the girls at the in the third act. I was like, how do you have this technology? I need that answered because it would not exist in 2003. I'm telling you.
He got it from like he got it from that one lady from the beginning of the movie. Was what was it, Homeland Security or something? She was from Homeland Security, and that's why he like I guess poisoned her and got her key card and stuff. But that was that whole explanation there, and it was very lacking in explanation. But
Also, somebody made this joke that was hilarious. So they made it very known that Cassandra was the one that kidnapped these people. They say it on the radio, like, "Oh, Cassandra Webb is wanted." Blah blah blah. So Cassandra Webb is able to kidnap three girls in broad daylight, put them somewhere, then book a flight in a public airport and go to Peru, come
come
back
back and go to
unidentified, and drive a stolen cab, and nobody knows who she is.
go back to her apartment.
Go back to her
and
apartment.
oh god.
The third act of this movie, it takes place in this firework warehouse. This She's like lighting the boxes of fireworks with flares, and they're taking forever to explode. I was like, when you light a firework, it normally blows up in like 3 seconds. Literally 3 seconds. These boxes were taking like they were blowing up when the script said they should. Because Ezekiel had to walk past the boxes for them to blow up. I was like, that it's not how fireworks work. And that's not the first time I said that during this movie. In the same sequence, like when everything's blowing up and all that, a firework is like and it shoots at the wall. It blows a hole in the wall. I was like, what? It's like fireworks don't do that.
At that point, I had given up asking
I was
questions,
like,
bro.
if fireworks really did that in real life, they really would be illegal. Because what firework is doing that? And they don't even establish if they're like, the military fireworks, like, the real ones that, they blow your eardrums out. No, they just sound like regular, like, pew, 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 pew fireworks, you know, and it just blows a hole in the wall. I was like, okay, sure, why not? So then they're under the Pepsi sign and it's falling apart and all that, and the S falls and she's like, oh my god, oh my god. And all of a sudden she just starts telling the girls, "Oh, no, don't run yet. Okay, now run. Oh, don't walk. Okay, now walk. Oh, don't pick your nose. Okay, now pick your nose. You'll be okay." That's the entire third act of this movie. The most uninteresting third act you could ask for. And then she does her little stupid, like, I can be in different places power thing. It looked
Looks
atrocious.
so bad.
And it was just
Looks
like,
really bad.
I I'm done.
It's like
So
some kind of
then,
phantom or something, and I'm like, that's not what I meant when I when I was thinking about this.
basically a whole bunch of stuff happens. I forgot what leads to the dude falling off the building. I don't care. He falls off the building. It was really rushed. He falls off. It's like he falls. He's died. Next scene. I was like,
Yeah.
it's like, wow. Okay, tell me you ran out of film without telling me you didn't run out of film. So then Cassie falls in the water, and if you blink, you miss it. But she gets hit in the head with a firework.
I I must have blinked.
She gets hit in the head with
Oh,
a
oh,
firework.
underwater. Yeah, underwater.
Like,
Yeah,
did you hear that come out? She gets
yeah.
hit in the head with a firework
In the eyes. Got hit in the eyes. That's what made her
for
go
the
blind.
third time. That's not how fireworks work.
Underwater, bro.
Underwater.
Underwater.
That's not how. She probably would have been okay underwater.
Yeah.
All things considered.
It would have fizzled out before it got to her. It's not
But
a rocket.
so she gets smacked in the head with the firework, and then she's just blind. I was like, and I totally forgot that Madam Web is blind.
She is
So when
blind.
that happened, I was like, that's how they made her blind. It's like, okay, whatever.
Fireworks.
So they're all in the
Wouldn't she have
hospital.
seen that if she could see the future?
I don't care. They're in the hospital and she's got her little bandages on her. I was like, oh my god, it looks so.
Oh, and there was a horrible line too. And what the nurse came in and was like,
The baby's okay.
no, that's not what I was talking
No,
about.
it
But
leads
yes,
to that. It
yes,
leads
no, but she was like, no, she was like, you can only be in here if, or if it's you can only
to
be in here if
immediate
it's
family.
family. They're like, they are my family.
They're
Or
all
so,
mine.
oh yeah, they're all mine. I said, yo, just a
Which then
second ago,
leads.
you hated these
Oh
characters,
yeah,
bro.
yeah. Which then leads to another bad line where the nurse is like, "Oh yeah, the baby's okay," and then uh Cassie was like, "Oh, Ben is having all the fun without the responsibility." I said, you just driving the fucking knife deeper, aren't you, Sony? Like, you get it? Do you get it? Do you get it?"
Yeah, the writer's like, oh, we're clever. No,
I was gonna say the
not.
joke that I made in the theater, but it's a little dark, so I'm gonna keep that to myself. But it's funny. Basically, it's the joke that would explain why there's no Spider-Man in this universe.
Uh
I'm not gonna say that though. I'm not trying to get in trouble. I don't need to be making jokes about childbirth. Anyway, so the end we get there's it like flash forwards, and we see they're in like her house, and she's in a wheelchair, one of the worst wheelchairs I've ever seen in my life. Like someone was like, "Why is she paralyzed?"
They
Like
come
she got
they come in and she's got
yes.
the chair. She swivels around. I knew you were there.
Hello there.
Hello there. You got takeout? Oh man.
Um,
The kung pao
and,
chicken.
and it doesn't like it doesn't even turn like fast. It's like it's glitching, functioning. And then she's like, "Oh, bless you," and she's like, "What? Achoo!" She's like,
So how did you know?
believe it or not, this was the best part. This was the best part of the movie where I broke out in laughter. She's like, "I can see the future. I can see your futures," and it's like wonderful. They reuse a shot from Spider-Man 2, by the way, which I didn't notice it. The
What was it?
Sam Raimi Spider-Man 2.
Which one?
It's I'll send it to you on social media because if I describe it, you're not gonna. It's a POV shot from him swinging.
Oh, okay.
Um, if you see it, you're gonna know what I mean.
Mhm.
But they show this, and it's supposed to be them swinging or whatever. Although they don't have the budget for that, and it basically
Them fighting
they
crime and
they show this shot where after they kill Ezekiel, where it's the three of them just standing there. They reused the same shot. They put a bunch of CGI webs, and then they just put a CGI Madam Web ghost thing there,
the
and
Phantom. The
she's
Phantom.
got her little Cyclops glasses on and her stupid red suit on that was never in the movie at all either. And then that's it. It just ends. I broke out in laughter and I lost it. I was like,
She said, "I've seen better than I've ever have before."
and there's no post credit scene either. That is the end of the movie. They knew we couldn't follow that up.
And then the credits song has it was a really weird song. It was like, oh, I was like, yo, it was a really weird song because I was like, most people are probably darting out of there, but I hopped on Letterbox to put my score or whatever, and that came on. I was like, yo, what? Let me get out of here.
AJ just did his best impression of the score from Zack Snyder's Justice League for Wonder Woman.
Or the Dune thing.
Yes, but yeah, this was just a nothing movie.
Mm.
Honestly, if you saw the trailer, you saw the whole movie minus and the things that you didn't see were bad. You know, like the final shot again, it's probably the worst final shot I've ever seen in my life. For a
Really, really
superhero
bad.
movie.
Really, really, really bad.
Reminds me of Catwoman, 2004, the final shot. Um, this movie was just a nothing movie. I've pretty if it wasn't for Twitter, this movie would have been gone from my mind. But Twitter's having a field day with this movie, and rightfully so. I've seen people say, "Oh, it's just as laughably bad as Morbius." No, I can't get enjoyment out of this movie. You know, I'm not gonna watch this movie 3 more times because I enjoy laughing at it. I can't laugh at this movie. It's just boring.
Yeah, I
You
had more
know,
fun with this movie during this nerd talk than actually watching it
you're
in
right.
theaters.
Granted, I was sober, but you know,
um, the question is, are you gonna see it twice? No, you're gonna love it. You're gonna go see it twice.
Sony needs to stop these. If anything, this movie made me more excited for Craven. I was like, Craven looks like a real movie compared to this.
It
Um,
does.
I'm holding out some hope from Craven. I am, because there were some things I liked in that Craven trailer. I don't think it looks very good, but
And if
I'm
it's
not
bad,
excited.
we always have Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, and if but it's okay. If it's bad, we have Venom cubed in October.
Yo. Oh, we get three of these movies, not one,
Three.
not two, but three of these movies in
That's why
2024.
that's why they delayed it to this year. Not because of the strikes, because they were like, nah, two is not enough. We need to give them three.
Cubed.
All right. Moving on to our final topic of the night. Physical media update. Thank everything. Holy. How much do you have? I don't have
One,
a lot.
one thing,
Oh, you have one. Oh,
singular.
we'll show it at the same time. But
Yep.
so I got these for my mom. This was her birthday gift. Um, I got her these Abbott and Costello. Abbott and Costello meets the Invisible Man.
Wait, when
Abbott and
was your mom's birthday?
Costello. It's not. It hasn't happened yet.
Oh,
I
okay.
got these for her because I saw them. I was like,
Ooh,
let me
I
get
almost
them.
missed Rose's birthday. Can't do
um.
that.
So Abbott and Costello meet the Mummy, and then Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. My
Nice.
mom has been telling me that these are like really fun movies where like it's really silly, like Three Stooges meets
Mhm.
the Universal monsters, and I was like, that sounds really fun. So I went ahead and bought these. We're probably gonna watch them in October. They were fairly cheap too. They were, I think, all less than $10. So
Nice.
yeah, I was there for her, but I actually needed those. Um, Next thing I got is this Blu-ray of Tom and Jerry. I love this. I There's 37 shorts on here. I think I've watched about 20 of them already. Um, and I'll watch them again. I love this is one of the greatest cartoons ever made. So I'm very happy that this has a Blu-ray and that I have it physically. And it also looks really good. Some of them do. Um, the first 4K I got is Red Eye.
Hey,
Um,
got it.
this is my first Paramount Presents. I don't love the slipcover doing this because it doesn't stick, so it's just like that. But
I mean, when you
whatever.
put it on the shelf, you won't be
Yeah.
able to tell.
Um, but yeah, I've been wanting this for forever.
Ever since it came out.
Um, yeah, and I finally got it. This is a fun little Wes Craven movie. Cillian Murphy is great in this movie. Rachel McAdams is really good in it too. But it's a fun little Wes Craven movie. It's not groundbreaking, but it's fun. I really like it.
Man, finally got red eye. I was like, when you getting red
Uh,
eye? When you getting red eye?
the Hunger Birds. Wow.
I'm sorry, what?
The Hunger Games and the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. The
Yes, sir.
4K Walmart exclusive Steelbook. Very happy to have this because I have the Hunger Games 4 movie collection steelbook. Very much, very much enjoyed this movie in theaters. It was actually a very big surprise because I didn't really.
Mhm.
I walked into it thinking, "Oh, it's gonna be fine, whatever," and I walked out saying, "Wow, this is the second best Hunger Games movie."
Yep. I don't know. If I
Uh,
rewatch this movie, I might say it might be the best. I don't know.
got the Meg 2, The Trench. The steelbook was $10, so I went ahead and picked it up. This is definitely a $10 movie. But I actually had some fun with this movie in the theater. The third act is undoubtedly the best part. The first half is really boring though. But it's a Megalodon Part 2. So
You keeping a J card on there?
yeah. And then these I got at Best Buy. They were on clearance for $6, and I was like, steelbooks for $6, absolutely. And out of print steelbooks, mind you. So first we got the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Um, I've wanted this steelbook for so long, and it was just gone. And I was at my Best Buy and I saw it on the shelf. I was like, give me that, please. I've never seen this movie. I want to, and this will be watched in October. So yeah, uh,
Sir,
I love this steelbook. So it's a great steelbook.
I love that movie.
And the last piece of physical media I got is the Sleeping Beauty Blu-ray
Ooh,
steelbook. I needed this on Blu-ray. This is not one of my favorite Disney movies, but $6 steelbook, that's actually really
4K.
fire.
Is it
No,
4K? Oh, it's Blu-ray. Okay, it's
I
still
thought it was
dope though.
4K too. Um, and the steelbook is embossed. You can't really see it, but
Is it
it's
embossed or
embossed.
debossed?
Maybe it's debossed. Yeah, it's debossed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's debossed. This is a pretty little steelbook. Sleeping Beauty is not great. Maleficent is astronomically better. But
Y'all not ready
it,
for that
it's
conversation though.
oh we'll be having it in November when we do that
Yeah, when
video.
we do the yeah, yeah.
Um,
I don't have to sit down and rewatch Sleeping Beauty though.
it will put me to sleep.
Right.
Uh, but that is gonna do it for this episode of Nerd Talk. Um, Thank you to everyone who's in the chat. Please leave a like and subscribe if you have not already. Turn on the bell for all notifications for future Nerd Talks. Next week, we will be doing a live watch along for Dune Part 1 in preparation for Dune Part 2 releasing next week, which I cannot believe. It's already time for Dune. It should have been 3 months ago. Well, 4-ish months ago, but here we are. I personally don't know if I'm going to be there because I'm going to the premiere on Sunday for Dune Part 2, the fan IMAX screening. So I had already planned on watching Dune Part 1 again before that, and I already rewatched it. I went to an IMAX screening for that a couple weeks ago. So and I kind of don't really want to sit on a nerd talk watch along watching part one after already seen part two. And I just kind of gotta bite my tongue, you know. But AJ and Alex will be there for sure. They gonna hold it down.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but the one after that for sure is the Dune Part Two spoiler talk, and that is gonna be a good one. So yeah, that's gonna do it. So also follow our Instagram. The link is in the bio. We're posting every day. That's where you find out updates of everything we're doing, all the videos and all that stuff. Also check out our video we posted on Valentine's Day for originals versus remakes. We did My Bloody Valentine. Had a lot of fun with that one.
Mm-hmm.
Also, another originals versus remix is coming within a week or so for Insomnia, which I'm kind of excited to do, mainly because I get to watch a Christopher Nolan movie again. You know, that's always a plus. But yeah, we're gonna head out on this one. Everyone have a great night, and don't watch Man of Web.